What's up? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to bring to you the glass cannon bunny build. It's my very own build. It's unique, and there's not another video out there that's like this, period. Nobody truly has a glass cannon build. They all have something with health and defense and stack and everything just for more survivability. We are not going for no survivability. We are going straight for the damage and having a blast playing it. Now, a lot of people are saying that bunny is not viable for bosses. In my opinion, that is absolutely wrong, just because there's two very important things that are going on here. One, you have a glass cannon build with an insane amount of damage, and then two, you can make another build for survivability and keep your DPSers alive. Bunny is an asset in everything you do with bosses. So, now let's hop to this. Here we have the Executioner. He is very strong against electrical, right? So we wouldn't want to use Bunny for this, but we can. So here we go. We used Bunny with teammates, by the way. And yes, could we have played a different character and got this game over with so much faster and done a lot more total damage? Yes, we could have. We probably could have did it in 2 minutes and, way more total damage than 48 million. All right? But for this build and doing the damage that we're doing, it was still viable. We can still use Bunny for these lesser ones, right? And even for the harder ones, you just have to switch the build around. So there's the glass cannon build, which I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to show you my tank build. And that's just, I'm really not doing any damage on that build, but your survivability is guaranteed 100%. You're not going down. Like, it's going to be impossible for you to go down. Let's get to the video. We're already in the video. All right. If you think you're going to use the glass cannon build, all right, and go in and do the swamp or the pyromaniac with a glass cannon build, yes, you can. If you're like on PC and you're a keyboard mouse warrior and you're like a superhuman freak at playing like Mortal Kombat and mash those buttons, yep, you're probably not going to go down as much as me. All right, but be expecting to see the back of that if you're trying to face tank some of these harder bosses, because that's what you're going to be seeing a lot. Now, anyways, let's get right to this. This is the glass cannon build for the newer people who do not know how to find these. It's very, very simple, and I'm going to show you right now before we go any further. We're going to go to our map, and we're going to go to access info. Go to your module, and then just type it in. All right, we'll just put dang, because you're going to need this in the loadout. Dangerous ambush. So you hit A on it, then press X. It's going to tell you where to go. I did mine right here. I have a Descendant that does chill. So I sat here, I ran this around 20 to 25 times, and I got the dangerous ambush. All right? And this is how you find everything in the game. This is the fastest way to find your modules, to find your reactors. Let's say if you're looking for a Pacific exponent or reactor, what you're going to do is you're going to look at your map, your world map, and right below my world difficulty, you're going to see the difficulty reward level. So let me remove my overlay. There you go. That's where you have the difficulty reward level. What you do is you press down on your joystick for Xbox, and let's say you're looking for something. You can sort it by, I like going to Battlefield, and I'm looking for a general round. I'm going to go electric. We're going to go singular, and I want reactor. And there you have it. This is where you're going to consistently farm for this right here. It says decreases electrical resistance of enemies that appear by 50%. Enemies that appear have their toxic attack increased by 30%. That's just this mission, right? But everything we do in this region right here, everything is going to be dropping reactors for the singular. All right, and we'll go do a game of that real quick just to show you. Let's get back to the build. So that is how you find your reactors, external components, whatever you're looking for in the game. Now, for those of you who are wondering how you get all of your skills maxed out to 8, all of them, even though they go at like 16, right? That is because you have to go to your module additional settings, assign module socket, crystallization catalyst. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pick a box and then assign and then apply the socket. What that's going to do is redrop your Descendant level back down to 1. You got to level them back up to 40. And as you see here, I've done it quite a few times. Got double on here. All right. So that is how you're going to max out your modules for your Descendant. All right. Now that that's knocked out, you got to have the high voltage. Okay. You need the mid-air maneuvering. I was using the long range, but the mid-air maneuvering hits so much harder. The electric synced here, not for the critical resistance, but for the electric skill power that I wanted to have on there. The dangerous ambush is awesome, especially when you're not playing solo and you have teammates with you, because when you're not targeted, you are landing 24.9% more skill power damage. And on a skill attack against an immobilized enemy, you're increasing that by another 49.8. So you could get a total of like 70 plus more attack power going into that hit. Especially if you have a player in the game that's just freezing. Poof, and just, immobilizing them. You're just going to mop the floor up with them. And that's where I pulled in my highest crit earlier today at like 2.6 mil, and I know on my screenshot for the title of the video it says 2.1 to 2.7. So if I hit 2.6 mil, it is guaranteed that somebody could remove my skill effect range and put on a different piece and possibly push the damage even higher than that. I just can't do that. I need the range. So it's not viable for me to put on another piece that does damage right here, because I'm already one shot, two shot, 3 shot sometimes, depending on what's going on. So I have to have that skill range. All right. Even though the high voltage already takes away and from our thrill bomb and our lightning emission, but it increases our range and damage instead, right? Like it says it right there, but we still need that extra range. For me, anyways. Maybe not for you, but for me, I need that. So this is a must. You have to have this on. Skill insight. It's going to give us our critical hit rate at 115. Our skill concentration for our critical damage at 115. Our electric specialist for 81.2%. For, come on, that's a lot of damage we're pumping out. Spear and shield. So I have this on here because I want that extra skill power at 8.1%, but it gives us a defense of 89.8%, which is okay. But I was hoping there are other pieces out there that I may change this with in the future, depending. We'll see. But for right now, I'm pushing an immense amount of DPS with this build, with this sitting right here. This was my last and final piece that I actually slotted in. We're going to front lines for critical hit damage and critical hit rate again. Our focus on singular. We are getting another 68.2 skill power and plus a cooldown. We have skill expansion, which I've already explained, and our emergency measures, which give us another critical hit rate and critical damage. So this is the full build. All right, this is what you're gonna need to crack those numbers that I'm showcasing. Let's go to the tank build. All right, this build is very, very basic. I have not increased anything on here. Okay, I haven't done nothing. So these slots that are slotted in, they're already there from my previous over here. So I just stuck in things that I could do without having to come over here and recatalyze. I'm not going to do that grind for any again, so it's done. So I just have increased HP, spear and shield for the defense, iron will. I can't increase it anymore because my module capacity is already at 80. So when my shield is at drops, I get an extra 55.5% defense, regeneration boost, HP recovery modifier, safe recovery, heal 17.2 for incoming damage, increased defense, agony, max MP, defense, time distribution, skill cooldown, but max HP at 52%. I don't go down with this at all. Not at all. I don't go down. So when I get into the higher bosses, I put this tank build on just for the survivability to keep all my teammates alive, and we beat the bosses. So that's what we use for here. Our range, this gives me a little bit of, so I had to fill these slots up, but this is our maximum range. Our maximum range, it just gives us more skill range on the effect. And then we're using arc again, which is skill, speed, and range increase modifier, and then skill expansion, which gives us more range, and then using our high voltage again for even more range. So this is just hitting across the map. It's absolutely phenomenal for just going in there and trying to face tank. We do have skill critical hit damage, skill power modifier, power increase, just some random stuff I was able to throw in. I really didn't focus on it. I just focused on these three pieces over here, which is what I wanted in for that range. So let's go back up here, and we are gonna go get into a quick game. Remember, down here is where we were focusing to get that reactor. Oh, I gotta explain the reactors. I'm sorry, I just jumped ahead real quick. Jumped ahead, I forgot something very important. So did that. All right. So I've deleted some of my reactors, which I have to go back and regrind for, like this one. So I did have this at God roll, skill critical hit damage and skill critical hit rate. My hit rate was God rolled, it's not now. But really what you'd want to be looking for is something with singular skill power and electrical skill power ratio, boosting both. I do have the enduring legacy mounting, so I will be able to get that 160% more optimization condition. That's a perfect roll. Here's for my range. When I throw on my range build, I also have the final masterpiece. It's researching right now, so I have both of them researching. So when I put on my range build, I will be throwing on this reactor. These other ones we're just gonna scrap. Not viable. All right, so for your external components, this is a really crappy Slayer auxiliary build. This is all the Slayers, all right? But I need a 4-piece set of them to get the extra skill power. So that is why I have these here. long as you have these in here, you're going to get that extra skill power, 26.1%. All right, so that's why I have that here. I want that extra damage going in. Now you can do the lesser bosses and still get the Slayer set. All right, it's just gonna be a hit or a miss. It's gonna be random. But when you play the Pyromaniac, it guarantees the drop too, and it's gonna be random. So the rolls you're gonna have to grind for to get the better rolls. Now let's come over here and probably getting into the game. Nope. Charged up. Now, 1 out of every 3 games, it gets really crazy. Just because the amount of legendaries that will drop, it goes crazy. So this one was a little slow, but then your next one, it could just pop right off. So it's roughly 1 out of 3 goes a little crazy. That little sound, that means a legendary dropped over there. This is why I need to But there we have it. We can go do a boss if we wanted to. But there you go. This is the build. You're gonna have a blast doing it. Just make sure that when you go do the harder bosses, that you do remember that you don't have a lot of health. So I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this build. You're definitely going to. And when you see those numbers fly off, it's awesome. And just remember, even playing the bosses, this character is still a viable character to play with when you're doing bosses. Alright, as I said before, the Executioner has a high it's strong against electrical damage, right? But I still pushed out 48 million damage on him just using my skill power alone. Like my firearm damage, I only did 122k because I was shooting at his back, right? Because he went into his enraged mode. But other than that, it was just off skill damage, right? Now, if you're gonna go do a higher boss, just put on your tank build and keep all your teammates alive. None of them will die because you'll just revive them every single time. Alright? So, this is the ultimate glass cannon build. This build is absolutely freaking phenomenal. And it's probably the highest DPSing bunny in the game right now. So I appreciate it. I hope you all have enjoyed. I hope this does help you. And I will catch you in the next one. Everybody out there, be safe, be blessed, have a great day. And once again, thank you for watching.